Hi folks, well, Cyclone Amphan has intensified today and is now a Category 1 hurricane strength system. I'll have to check what that is on the Indian scale. India is over on the left here, Bangladesh is here. A couple of days ago, it wasn't clear what the models were tracking this storm as going to, but let's check as to the latest updates. Let's just jump in with the JTWC forecast, and as you can see, the track is coming in to make landfall right on the border of Bangladesh and India, so impacting areas around Kolkata and into Bangladesh. Strength wise, 18 knots and weakening as it makes landfall, so a category 1-2 is currently in the forecast. But let's check and see if the models bear this out, because it is intensifying to become a major hurricane strength system prior to approaching land. Now it may be that the waters are a bit cooler here and there's also land interaction that is causing it to weaken. Yeah, it's early season, so their storm is forecast to come through a region of very warm sea surface temperatures, but as you get close to the coast, the ocean is cooling down a little bit. Maybe some Ganges outflow and whatnot. But that may be one factor why the models are weakening it prior to landfall. Here are the sea surface temperature anomalies, the differences from normal, and anything that's redder or oranger than the grey is above normal. And as you can see, there is in the Bay of Bengal a large area of sea surface temperatures above normal throughout almost all of the Bay of Bengal, with just a few patches that are cooler. So there's a lot of energy out there. And that is confirmed in the maximum potential intensity. This is an indicator for the maximum strength that the storm could potentially attain. And the dark blues are all Category 5 hurricane strength. So the Bay of Bengal is full of energy. It can support a Category 5 hurricane strength system. However, for the storm to reach its maximum intensity, it needs a track that allows it to intensify, and it needs the ocean area to provide all the energy, and obviously the Bay of Bengal is surrounded by land, which is a bit of an issue. And this cyclone is huge, and it's basically filling up the whole Bay of Bengal, most of it anyway. It's actually over 1,000 kilometers across. Let's take a look at the forecast models. This is the European Center model, and the wind, this is showing the surface wind speeds in the blues are getting up into above sort of tropical storm into Category 1 hurricane is the lighter blues, not currently evident in this image. Let's move forward and see the times. Now the time down at bottom is in UTC is the Z21Z, and you have to add 5.5 hours to get Indian time. The storm intensifies and you can see it getting into the whites, which means that it's getting up above the scale, which is probably meaning Category 2 or 3 hurricane strength. At some point there, you can see some whites in there. Anyway, it comes in, and it's pretty strong actually for the European Center model as it approaches land, and it is approaching India rather than Bangladesh in the ECMWF. There is weakening prior to landfall. You can see the whites have disappeared, and then there's landfall, and that I think is eastern Orissa, with the storm then progressing up towards Calcutta, weakening as it does so. And the timing of landfall is right there, 06Z on Wednesday this week. So that is lunchtime Wednesday. Now let's check the GFS model. The storm comes up, and essentially it is slightly to the right of the European Center model. And sorry for all the clicking, that is me touching keyboard to move it forward, and it comes in and it's heading more towards Calcutta almost directly. So it is slightly to the east of the European Center model, but they're both taking it into India rather than Bangladesh, although Bangladesh is getting strong winds and some storm surge for sure in the GFS. And it comes onshore. On the Indian cyclone scale, you have to be a bit careful because the JTWC has it reaching 105 knots, 1 minute sustained winds. The Indian cyclone scale is 3 minute sustained average winds. So this is going to be slightly lower wind speed for this equivalent 1 minute sustained. But anyway, roughly speaking, this would be an extremely severe cyclonic storm, given the range it's well within that. And I would say there is certainly potential for it to become a super cyclonic storm, based on the models and just uncertainty. I mean, that's the kind of accuracy you get from my forecast. From past experience, if it says 105 knots, it could well be 120 knots. It looks like, according to the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, they are associating the weakening prior to land with vertical wind shear, and so I guess cooler SST, sea surface temperatures, lots of land, and increasing vertical wind shear all are forecast to hopefully weaken the storm a bit prior to landfall. Does anyone know what the CHIPS forecast is? Because this is on the Emmanuel MIT page, and the CHIPS forecast takes it up to above 140 knots, way above the JTWC. So that would definitely make it a super cyclonic storm if that were to come to pass. Here are the intensity forecast predictions for a whole ton of models, and you can see why JTWC has put it in around 105 knots peak, because that's roughly in the middle. But there are a bunch of indicating models, mainly that chip, or whatever the chip is, and is going up into category 5, as is NGX. So there are models, even Hurricane WRF is tipping into category 5 prior to landfall, which I presume is around here. Which is a good reason to check the Hurricane WRF, which is a high resolution storm following simulation, and that brings the storm. Now, okay, the winds are, if they're in the purples, that's hurricane strength. If they get into this color, then you're getting into category 2, then category 3, category 4. It's into the reds, it's getting into category 5. So anyway, let's move forward. And the barbs are also on there, so if there are two triangles on the barb, that's over 100 knots. So it comes up, and the Hurricane WRF is going to be initialized with the GFS boundary, so it's taking a similar track. Actually, it's slightly east, and that's actually right on the border of India and Bangladesh. And intensity wise, it's a major hurricane landfall by the looks of things. I mean, it's off the coast, you can see 100 knot wind barbs. So Hurricane WRF is indicating a major hurricane landfall strength system. That would be a, whatever it is, a very severe cyclonic storm landfall right on the border, and that's 927 millibars. So, you know, I think Hurricane WRF is a slight outlier in terms of the major models, but it is high resolution and definitely major cause for concern. That forecast looks very, very dangerous for Bangladesh, India border in this region. If this forecast were to come true, we can expect severe winds in western Bangladesh on Wednesday, and along with that, a huge storm surge, absolutely huge storm surge, I guess, into these channels. So this area, you know, let's see how things develop over the next days or so. We'll have a better idea Monday, Tuesday, but yeah, it's going to require a major evacuation if that comes true. But hopefully we will get that weakening as predicted by JTWC and the other models somewhat. So I think I'll leave it at that for this evening as we look down from Himawari 8 satellite to India and this huge developing cyclone in the Bay of Bengal at sunset, and Bangladesh up here. This is the potential landfall area, India into Bangladesh. So yeah, if you want to see more videos on this storm into the week, please let me know in the comments. Catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new, then you may find other videos on this channel of interest. Hitting the like button and subscribing really helps to support this channel. To get the latest videos, don't forget to enable all notifications.